You were listening to Charting Wealth for Wednesday, February 1, 2017. We have the S&P 500 basically even for the day. It opened and closed at 227.56 roughly. The Qs was down just a little bit, 0.19%. Gold, which is what we jumped into at the beginning of the week, up big, 1.36%. And we keep looking at TLT, that's the 20-year bond, trying to see if it's going to give us a crossover, and that may happen toward the end of the week. We're not calling it yet. It was up 0.71%. Now, our candles don't show that because we're using a 2-day candle, but we see on our PPO, our price percent oscillator, that it is ranging up. So we'll see if that happens. But the cool thing is gold ended up closing at about let's see what gold actually closed at. Gold closed at 113.54. It was as high as 115.82. Our buy-in point on gold on Monday at 10:30 was 113.57. So again, yes, the high throughout the day 113.82. And the close 114.62. I'm sorry, the low was 113 for the week 54. And we bought in right around there at 113.57. So let's go through everything in order. First, S&P 500. We currently are in an up move on the weekly chart. 2-day chart was in a down move. We're going to look at the 2-day chart and we can see that it's crossed over going back down. So again, even though S&P 500 broke even for the day, it is in a down move on the 2-day chart. Weekly still in an uptrend. So again, the market just can't keep its head up. Still above the weekly trend line, but it actually moved down far enough to touch it during the course of the day. We have no trade on the S&P 500 at this point. May have a crossover going down on the weekly chart in the near future. Has not happened yet. Does appear that it could be happening toward the end of the week. We'll just have to wait and see. We don't call it until it happens. What's going on the Qs? Again, down 0.19% for the day. Remember, we jumped in on our weekly trade back on the, the 9th of January. I'm looking also at our 2-hour buy-in. That was back on the 24th of January, but back on the 9th of January at 121.30. And of course, where did gold end up throughout the course of the day? Q's last position, 124.79 is high. This week is 125.38. Again, please be very careful. If you've already amassed profits on this trade, you want to be careful. The 2-day chart is heading down on the Qs. So again, hopefully you cashed out some of your position at the high and at least you are ready to cash out before you potentially lose everything, although it's not happened yet. It could bound back up. People always ask, what do I do? How do I make sure that I take the entire run up? Well, we had a great crossing over back on the 9th when we jumped in to gold, and I'm sorry, I keep saying gold, into the Qs, and it's been a great run up. And again, it's never the wrong time to take your profits. But as we talk about, when you start feeling good or you start getting nervous about your position, you can always at least sell part of your position, sell half, and let the rest of it ride. It never hurts to do that. So keep that in mind. Those of you continuing to hope for more out of it, just be careful since the MACD is trending down now. So now let's go back to our 2-day chart and go to TLT, which is the 20-year bond fund. It was, like we said, up for the day 0.71%. Not yet crossed over on the weekly chart because we haven't ended the week, but it is sure trying again. It's done this a couple of times so far and then backed off from that. So we'll continue to watch. Don't have a trade yet on bonds. We may have a bottom, and we'll just have to wait for the week to end to see if indeed that occurs. And we're again on the 2-day chart. It's running parallel. So we'll just continue to watch. It may continue to move down. It may not. We'll make that call at the end of the week as far as the weekly chart goes. All right, lastly, I kept saying the word gold. Let's take a look at gold, up 1.36% for the day. The 2-day chart has angled up, which is nice to see a kink over going up. Derivative oscillator, however, is continuing to lose its energy, but our PPO, which is very similar to the MACD. MACD is calculated absolutely, whereas the PPO is calculated on percentage, which makes it easier to compare across the board. So what do we see going on there? Well, it is headed up again, which is a good sign. And we shall see, again, we'll continue to follow this closely to see just how it works for us. Those of you who recall, we jumped into gold at the beginning of the week on the 30th of January at 10:30 in the morning. If we go to our our 30-minute chart, we can see the actual buy-in point. The market opened at 10:30. The price that it went for was 113.57. Where is gold as it ended the day on the 31st, the last day of the month? It was at 114.55. That was a pretty nice, the last was 115.47. That's where gold was. So a nice climb, about $2. Not bad at all. In fact, it reached a high at one point of 115.82. So again, continue to take a clue from it. Keep an eye on it. It has crossed over on the 30-minute chart, but that's not our trading chart. We'll just continue to pay attention, and it is nice to have seen it climb that much. That is good. It actually bounded up strongly in the morning on the 31st. So we do have a gold position as far as our weekly vertical crossover goes, and we'll continue to watch that and see how healthy that is. So that is where we have ended up the day. I'm really liking using these vertical crossovers on the weekly chart. We'll continue to watch as things develop. It's always a pleasure to be with you. You have questions, problems, concerns. We'll try to be here with answers for you. Again, this is fun when things are moving in your direction. Take care. God bless from chartingwealth.com. If you appreciate what we do, by all means, go to iTunes, subscribe to our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, say something nice about us. You can also subscribe at YouTube, and we always love to hear from you at Charting Wealth. You can sign up for our newsletter right there where you will get our daily video podcasts. We're happy to send those out to you. Of course, when you subscribe, you get our How to Read a Stock Chart video. You also get the daily market worksheet that we encourage you to use every single day. There's a great training at the website and at YouTube on that. And you also get the layout that we use at freestockcharts.com. Thanks so much for being with us. God bless you. We will continue to keep up with what's going on in these markets. It is so exciting to watch and see how things are going. All the best. Take care. God bless from chartingwealth.com.